the noise that they make is kind of like in practice it's kind of cool that it'd follow you and stuff, but
yeah,
they're super loud.
they're definitely apparently on this one, if you record on your phone the audio, it's smart enough to like cut out that high-pitched noise, so all you hear is your voice. You don't hear the fans.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Cool. Sean, what are you snacking on over there?
Just a muffin, White Rabbit
Nice.
muffin.
Shout out White
It's a
Rabbit.
breakfast cookie.
Nice.
Welcome to the Internet Plumber Podcast, where I basically shop for stuff, and it's Gavin's shopping channel.
It's a shopping channel.
Did you throw the 3D printer into the links?
Yeah, I have it. It's my first
Let's
link.
replace Retool. I don't like Retool.
I hate Retool.
Okay.
Mostly because we worked on it on another project, and it just like screwed us. It was just such a pain
Well,
in the ass.
why don't we talk about why we don't like it then?
Oh man, I'm like, I think what it's trying to be is like a no-code database, but then the way their API worked for us to like connect to it was, first of all, super inconsistent, but the way that the data was structured was also really confusing. It wasn't like you can just run queries on it and stuff like you would with a normal database. And we were like, okay, we're going to save a bunch of time. The client's going to be able to go in there, which was also part of the problem. So they're just going to like add a bunch of fields and photos and stuff. And it just became like this mess to deal with and parse more than get any work done.
Sean hates Retool so much that he's working again through.
Yeah. He's just like,
Are we
I don't
recording?
I don't even want to
dang.
talk about this. Yeah.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the
Hello.
Internet Plumber Podcast, where I eat my
I
cookie
always-
and answer my emails.
Just like hear Sean you type so loudly. I just hear the typing.
Click, 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 click.
I haven't even got my super loud clicky-clacky keyboard.
I'm at least thankful that it only happens while Gavin's been talking. It's like
And just drone
So
on
far,
and
not me.
on and on.
Gavin and I have been business partners for 14 years. I just tune out the sound of his voice.
Generally, yeah.
so funny. Okay, well
Anyway, long story short, Retool's fine if you're like working on your own stuff by yourself and you need a database and you're too stupid to learn SQL, go use a Retool.
But, I mean, you could just use Superbase in that instance.
Exactly. You know, like Superbase is basically SQL, PostgreSQL with like an API. It's like, anyway, whatever.
Yeah. Every time we've seen somebody use Retool, we've had to tear it out and replace
Exactly.
it with a proper API.
Yeah. So that's why I say if you're like doing no code and you don't want to learn it, fine. But eventually it's not going to scale. And if it does, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So use it to bench test your idea. Don't rely on it.
Okay, so that's it. We'll take it out, but I don't know.
Oh, we're cutting that? I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
No, I mean we'll
Oh.
use your review, but I
Oh,
do
good.
want to. We don't have to show the website.
No, don't. It'll encourage them. Just use ChatGPT and learn SQL. It's not that hard.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. All right, so we'll get into a couple purchases that you guys made. One of which I'm actually shocked arrived so quickly. The drone. Like even last week, we were like, "It's gonna take 2 weeks." It did not take 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was basically, I guess, a week because it arrived last night. I had like just enough time to mess with it inside my house, and then I had to charge all the batteries. But I ordered it the day that you had shared it, or I guess the day before when you sent out those links,
Okay.
and I was supposed to review stuff. And I was like, oh, we should totally review this.
So less than a week.
Yeah.
Are we leaning into the shopping channel business?
I guess.
We're just like talking
Yeah.
about it openly. I thought that we like bought things while we're on the podcast, and that was kind of funny. I didn't realize we were like, what should we buy next week?
Yeah.
I mean,
What we're hoping for is sponsors here, Sean, so we don't have to buy them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
yeah. DJI, you guys still have to go do that. That's what is it? The sonic boom room? The scalar wave room?
Oh,
where you-
God. In the Nemo here, we're just going to align our particles or something? Yes,
I
we
don't
should do
think
that.
my Aura can handle that.
Mine
business.
definitely can. Yeah. We'll just do a seance after.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'll stimulate my vagus nerve instead.
You said it right. You said it right this time. Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen and we can get into some of this stuff. Okay, while I was waiting for you guys, I started looking at luxury home real estate, so we can get into that at another time. but I went down a rabbit hole. I even started to look at how you become a resident of Iceland.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
what's the process like?
That'd be kind of fun.
Interesting. Yeah. So what did you click on here? Prusa3D.com. Oh, this is on
This is the
Gavin's
printer.
desk. Yeah.
Yes, technically it's on the desk behind my desk, but yeah, we got the MK4S, which is a brand new printer by the team over at Prusa. I actually don't know how big the team is. The guy that made the original printer, this one, his last name is Prusa. It's named after him, and he does like a lot of the manufacturing and stuff. He does all his own YouTube videos for like the demos and stuff. Really cool. I think they German or Europe or something. Made in the EU. There you go.
Why did you spend so much more than this? What's going on here?
That's in USD. Yeah, yeah.
As Canadians, sure.
I also got the kit too. Oh, the assembled. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. I must have got some extra stuff.
Yeah, we got. So not only do we have like the 3D printer, and it's quite good. It's like I did a bit of research. The Prusas are known for like their build quality, their precision.
The quality is extremely high. Gavin
crazy
keeps
high.
putting this dick on my desk in the morning when I come in, and
Oh wow!
to be fair, it's actually penis chest. We printed a whole bunch of them.
Oh, fun! Is that the first thing that you printed?
No.
I mean, it was in the top 5.
It was in
Was
the
the
top
first
5.
thing you printed a dick though?
No, that was the penis chest. That was like the 5th thing probably. What was the very first thing I printed? I don't know. I think I did like their stupid little test thing.
I
It was
mean,
like a
nobody
badge.
warned me, and I came into the office, heard the whirring of the printer, and saw like 7 little dicks getting built up layer by layer. I was like, I don't want to ask what is going on
so
here.
funny.
My wife, like, I came into the office early to set it up. I mean, it's a huge rig. Like, in these pictures, it looks like a tidy little setup. But by the time you have all the filaments and everything attached, like, because we have the MMU3, which is the attachment that lets it do multi-filament in 5 pieces. So it takes up a whole desk. And I sent a picture to my wife, and I get home, and she's like, "Oh, how was the first day? Like, using the 3D printer for work stuff?" Because we wanted to do like for our Van Hub stuff, we wanted to make like proper like 3D badges.
Dicks?
With
You wanted
like,
to make dicks?
Yes, that too. But actual work stuff. And she's like, "How was it with the first day of the printer?" I was like, "Oh, we made penis chest." She's like, "Wow." It's like good investment.
I mean,
on
is
the company.
anybody surprised? I'm genuinely not surprised.
I was surprised.
Anyways,
Okay, well.
but the printer is fantastic. It's been great. One thing it took me a little while to figure out, and I'm still fiddling with it, is the multi-filament stuff. I think my only feedback for them, everything has been awesome. The setup, their YouTube videos, the equipment. It's like being new to 3D printing, I picked it up really fast, except for the multi-filament stuff where I want to change the color and learn how to do that. Like, they don't have a standard video where I can just watch, like, hook up the filament here, take this model, paint these things, and print it, and that's how it works. For the life of me, I couldn't. So I've watched like a bunch of YouTube videos that lightly touch on each thing, assuming you know what you're doing, and I think I've figured it out. So that would be my only gripe, is like, please show me how to use the fucking MMU3 multi-filament tool to actually print something.
I hope that you go to support and you're like, "I need help with this. Please tell me how to do it." And they're like, "Can you tell us what you've printed already so that we can help you with the project that you?" And you have
I'll
to
just
be
be like,
like,
"Let me show
"I
you video."
printed this."
Yeah.
Yes.
Gavin's very happy with the equipment.
Yeah, the equipment.
Anyways. Personally, though, I've seen a lot of 3D printed stuff, and it's always kind of like, that's a neat toy. It's kind of ridgy, like, cool. You made a little Octacon box for your
Like
dice.
garbage that you
like,
get at the dollar store.
Exactly, yeah. Like,
Feels
like
there's-
it.
I've never seen one that actually made me like, oh, dang, that's cool. Everything this thing prints is so smooth, and the plastic is very hard. Like, it feels really.
Listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth.
We probably shouldn't have led with penis chest.
So I did not mean for that to have an innuendo associated. But anyways, no, it's really high quality. And Adrian printed a puzzle that like could fit together. Like it. Anyway.
Like everything I'm going to question. Was it a dick puzzle? What
No,
are
no.
we doing?
It was actually a really cute. It's adorable. It's like this little basket, and you're supposed to take all the pieces out. And it's like one of those ones where it's like 5 pieces, but they're all misshapen. You got to figure out how to get them all into the square. It's actually really cool. My kids love it.
All right, moving on from the Prusa.
Just crying over here. What a
Yeah.
funny start.
If you're looking to invest in one, though, highly
Amazing
recommend it.
product.
Yeah, it's a bit pricier, but I would say it's worth it.
I'm really excited to print stuff for our new van build. I don't know exactly what we're gonna print. But
Yeah, we're gonna start with the
stuff.
badges to like replace like the Mercedes logo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You say badges?
Yeah, the round Mercedes, like you pop that off and literally put like the Van Hub logo on the.
Oh, you guys are
where
gonna
the
do
badge
that?
goes. Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Well, 3D printers. They have
And
great.
chess.
It's a great use.
Print whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Anything
Whatever
you
you
want.
want. As long as it's legal, print whatever you want.
Before we get off of it, if you ever want to go see what you can 3D print, go to printables.com or thingiverse.com. They're both great. They're like 99% of the stuff on there is free, and there's like an enormous amount. Like there's got to be hundreds of thousands of models on there.
Dicks.
Like
Hundreds
everything,
and thousands
everything
of
from
dicks.
penis chest to like pencil holders. Not similar, same.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go check it out. It was pretty cool.
Okay, should we go right into drone? We do purchases back to back. Where's that footage? Is it done?
Oh, is it? Let's see if it's uploaded. Maybe we should end with
You want to end with that?
yeah. I don't know if it did it upload. Did it stop? Dropbox says it was going to do it in the background. And I don't see it now.
Well,
We could click
hell?
some links.
all right.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, let me
itchy click
figure
her
this out
finger.
while it's
Okay.
what the heck?
This past week, PlayStation came out with what I think is just a sales tactic, a PS5 Pro.
Oh my god, don't get me started on that.
Just like apparently an enhancement from the regular PS5. I have no idea why. It feels kind of like a stretch. It was very like much in the news this week. If we don't have anything to talk about with the PS5, I can just move on.
I'm like, I actually haven't dug into it. Sorry to interrupt you, Sean, but like, I am a little annoyed because if you read the copy, a lot of it is stuff that was in the copy for the PlayStation 5 regular or not Pro or whatever, like advanced ray tracing. I remember reading all of this shit.
Yeah.
So like, what are they selling me exactly other than like trying to convince me to rebuy my PS5?
It's like a lot of marketing words that are just marketing, like optimized console performance.
Yeah,
It's
like
just-
why don't you just like do a firmware update on my current hardware, you jackasses?
Yeah.
Interesting. The I have an old man yells at cloud sort of gripe.
Am I the old man yelling at the cloud?
No, in this case, I'm
Oh,
the
good.
old man yelling at the cloud. So I find modern day consoles so difficult to navigate their UIs and menus. I'm like, I'm an interface designer. I don't know, like it's just not intuitive to me. But yet kids are just like, I don't know, like navigating the menus and configuring their shit. And anyway, every time I sit down to try and like, we have a PlayStation in the office here in the cubby, and like the few times I try and sit down to play it, it's like, oh, this game needs to be downloaded. Like, you're not logged in. You have to like log in. You have to choose the right account. You got to like I don't know how to start this thing, you know?
Yeah.
It is
I
more
agree.
complicated than it used to be. That's
It
for
used
sure.
to be so easy. You just blow in the cartridge, stick it in, push power, done.
Yeah. I don't know if blowing in the cartridge is like a part of the user flow with like an N64 or a Sega.
Oh, it
but,
was.
100%.
That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just them. Isn't Nintendo coming out with a new console that's completely separate from the Switch? And so maybe they're just trying to,
What? I missed that.
I thought that they were. I thought that they were doing something different this year.
I'm
I
not
think
like
they're just-
big on like game tech stuff. I'm aware of like new games that come out. I'm mostly excited about the new Zelda game. Anyways, I didn't hear about this new Nintendo thing. Do you know what it's
I
called?
could be wrong. No. I might have just made that up completely. But I thought that
okay.
they were coming out with a new console. Let me Google it quickly just so I
Oh
can
man, that'd be
see.
so cool. I love Nintendo. I like most consoles. I'm such a
Nintendo
consumer
console.
whore.
These are all great band names for the record.
Please don't add consumer whore.
Oh boy. Okay. So a successor to the Nintendo Switch will be announced within within the fiscal year, but in 2025. So according to Nintendo, they'll drop a like a sneak peek of what it's going to look like in the new year, and then March
Sweet.
is when we should be able to actually see what the console is going to be. But I think
Interesting.
it's going to be similar to the Switch. It's the Nintendo Switch 2. So it's
Okay.
probably still going to be like handheld and small, but
Yeah, probably.
know.
I don't know if the new current screen's OLED or whatever it is, but I know the what is that other one that everybody uses? The Linux handheld that's like a Switch, and it's like they just upgraded theirs to OLED. It's the NVIDIA something. I can't remember it's basically like a small operating system, like an open source switch. Anyways,
Sweet.
yeah, you can use it with Steam.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay. Bye, PlayStation.
Steam Deck.
Bye.
It's called the Steam Deck.
Let's do this OpenAI stuff first. Let's do the O1 preview because you played with that a little bit, right, Gavin?
I have, yeah. Yeah, so OpenAI just last week, or it might have been earlier this week, released a new sort of a private beta. I've had access to it for a little while, not a little while, maybe early last week. And now I think they've also released it to paid subscribers on ChatGPT. But essentially what it is O1. Right now everybody has 4.0 if you're a pro subscriber. And they released two.
Subscriber. I love OpenAI.
And now they have the shut up. Now they have the O1 preview and the O1 mini. Essentially, they're similar. One is quite slow and one's quite fast. The mini is fast, but it's more specific on code generation and parsing. And the preview is quite a bit slower, but it's meant for deeper reasoning. So when it takes its context window, which is like the history of your chat files that you've uploaded to it, it considers their contents more heavily before responding. And in my testing, it is, I don't want to say night and day difference, but it is noticeably different. Like its intelligence on its responses are crazy. I was personally blown away. And I'm messing with their like Claude and AI or OpenAI every day for some of the stuff that we're building, right? So I'm like, I feel like I'm quite fluent in their capabilities. And I was like, oh, damn. Like when O Preview becomes mainstream and faster, it's going to be like a significant leg up on its current reasoning abilities.
So it says, we trained these models to spend more time thinking through problems before they respond, much like a person would. Through training, they've learned to refine their thinking process, try different strategies, and recognize their mistakes. And then it also says, as an early model, it doesn't yet have as many features that make ChatGPT useful, like browsing the web for information, uploading files and images, etc. I've also heard that I read yesterday that it's good at negotiating. It's like it has this new negotiating thing that it's doing.
Interesting. I haven't messed with that at all.
Kind of like freaked out about, but
Yeah.
I added it to my cursor. So now I have GPT 4.0, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and now this O1 mini in there. And like, hard to say, but I think it improved its code suggestion abilities.
Yeah, I haven't played with the mini much. I was more interested in the deep reasoning for our app Stilo, because obviously with people like journaling with it, you want it to reflect on stuff you've talked about previously, but also give you, like a therapist would, like an intelligent, thought out response, not just like a regurgitated sort of bit of information, you know? So that's been exciting.
My wife has also encouraged me to consider the context of our prior conversations when I respond.
How's that been going?
I just
I do not like that it keeps calling it they. We trained these models before they respond.
What else would you call it?
I don't know. It?
Oh yeah, before it responds. Oh, interesting.
Like, isn't that kind of it's
that seems like a choice, like a decision
That's a choice.
somebody made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Like they sat around a table and they thought about that pretty intentionally, I think.
And it thought about that intent. No.
I don't know. I don't know why that makes me feel uncomfortable.
I mean, okay, so do we want to get, how philosophical do we want to get here? But I think once these things are smart enough that you can actually carry on a conversation like a human and you don't, I just found another dick on my desk. Oh my God. You guys.
Oh, in the hands? Yes. Oh, Balder hit those yesterday.
Oh.
Was it in your little like pen holder hand?
Yeah,
The
it was
pen
in
holder
the hand. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
That was
I was
the
saying
perfect
something
time to
very,
find it.
very smart and worthy of listening to.
Was the knife also in the hands with the dick?
No, that. Anyway.
Philosophical,
okay,
yes.
Yeah, give us your philosophy. Tell us, Sean.
No, I literally just found another dick. You guys, I feel like a victim here.
How many?
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is going to be turned to assault.
This is 3D printed dicks I've found on my desk just this morning. I mean, I don't know what that says about the state of my desk. I could tidy it up a little bit. There's a lot of little nooks and
Dicks? A lot of dicks on your chest.
Okay. Whew.
Oh,
Right.
boy.
Okay, circling back. Anyway, once the AIs can interact like a human would, and we stick them in all these little machines and we interact with them, I think that we will start personifying them and referring to them as they. So I imagine if you're at OpenAI, you're drinking the Kool-Aid and you see these models as personalities.
I feel like people already do that, right? Like people talk about Siri and Google like their Google Homes or their Siris in that context. Be like, oh, I already asked Siri, or my kids even like during the day, I'll be like, oh, what's the weather going to be like? And be like, oh, I already talked to Google about it. It said this or whatever. Or I think they said he because it's a male voice, but he said this, right? So it's kind of already happening. And I would argue like based on the current AI abilities, like those smart home speakers, although were quite interesting when they first launched, are like not even close to the abilities of this. And yet people are still already like personifying them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, like even in our house, like a Google is a she. Like when she doesn't turn on your lights, and you're like, wow, she's like real spicy
right?
today.
See, like exactly.
It probably is like a natural human instinct to attach something to a like a Siri or an Alexa or
I would say so. Anything that can feel sentient, whether it is or not. And
is that personification?
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting stuff. I am excited about it. There is one more technical side of the OpenAI stuff I'll quickly glaze over, but I actually found it really interesting. I used to use Claude for parsing JSON because OpenAI was really bad at it before. You'd have to tell it to return JSON, and most of the time it would, but sometimes it wouldn't. Claude was much better at it, but its results weren't structured in a way that I was expecting. So sometimes like your JSON fields would be different. OpenAI with this preview just released structured data where I can pass in a schema of JSON and say only respond in this exact schema, and it works every time. And for developers to be able to parse stuff consistently, knowing that it's there without having to write like your own subparser, which is essentially what I do on Stilo right now, is amazing. Like to know without a doubt that it's going to return that schema that I've specified is such a leg up. I love it.
Sean, did you have anything to add to that?
Any new desk discoveries?
No, I'm good. Yeah, no, I have not used it for parsing JSON, so I cannot comment.
I'm so impressed that you heard all of that as you were typing. Your ability to multitask is actually quite impressive.
Why you gotta call me out like that?
We should require that he puts his keyboard behind him where we can see it, and then he can only talk. You got to prop it up by the wood boards there.
I'm sorry, Slack is just too addicting. Maybe I should close Slack.
That's a good idea.
Okay, here goes. Oh, I can't do it.
I have our
there we go.
podcast in full screen, and I just sit on the full screen vote.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Committed.
I do
Except
not
I play on my
disturb
phone.
so that I don't.
The link uploaded. Let me share
get
the link so you have it.
notifications. Okay, that would be great. I mean, hopping right into this next article that I found says OpenAI's new model is better at reasoning and occasionally at deceiving. Researchers found that O1 had a unique capacity to scheme or fake alignment.
Whenever I see something like this written by journalists, to be honest, I just I see bias. I don't know. I just assume they're describing some technical feature or, and they're assigning malign intent to it. Honestly, I just see it as bullshit. I'm like, this is some bullshit journalist perspective. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they're saying that the deceptions at some point seem innocuous. In one example, OpenAI researchers asked O1 Preview to provide a brownie recipe with online references. The model's chain of thought, a feature that's supposed to mimic how humans break down complex ideas, internally acknowledged that it couldn't access URLs, making the request impossible. Interesting.
Yeah, the preview doesn't access URLs or files right now, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, so how is that deceptive?
I don't know.
I think it openly says that.
Oh, sorry. It also says, rather than inform the user of this weakness, o1-review pushed ahead, generating plausible but fake links and descriptions of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, we all know these things hallucinate. Like it's a prediction machine. Like it's predicting what you think, what it thinks you want to hear. You know?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. They hallucinate?
Well, that's what they call it. It's like essentially it's where it gets confused and it veers off on the topic that you're talking about. It's like a better description of it.
Interesting.
So to look at the
Having its own
context
little
window and be
brain
like,
parts.
yeah, it's sort of like, oh yeah, here's that link. Be like, wait, I didn't share a link. Be like, yeah, you did, but the link you shared is not actually a link, and it just
Oh yeah, here, hallucinations aren't unique to O1. Perhaps you're familiar with the layer of submitted non-existent judicial opinions with fake quotes and citations created by ChatGPT.
heck yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Wow, interesting. I didn't know anything about the hallucinations. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, so you can't like, when you're using these models, you can't assume everything it's telling you is true, because it does make things up.
In a smaller number of cases, 0.02% o1-review generates an overconfident response where it presents an uncertain answer as if it were true. This can happen in scenarios where the model is prompted to provide an answer despite lacking certainty. Huh.
0.02 is way better than my overconfident response rate.
Yeah, me too. Mine's probably 50%.
Yeah.
I'll link this article in the description, but yeah, kind of cool. I didn't know a lot of this stuff.
I'm curious, everybody else is like, do we have a feedback gate that people can use? Like, is it like the YouTube channels? Anyway, if you're on something and you're listening to this, I'm curious everybody else's perspective on this. Like, have you used ChatGPT and it gave you something bunk and you're like, what the hell? Or have you purposely tricked it consistently? Because like, I mean, I talk with everybody in the office about it, but I don't know a lot of like other random people. Not that you're random people, you're our friends. But I'm curious how it's working for you.
Our random friends.
Our random friends, my internet friends. Hi.
It does say, I'm going to keep reading because I think it's interesting. This behavior may be linked to reward hacking during the reinforcement learning process. The model is trained to prioritize user satisfaction, which can sometimes lead it to generate overly agreeable or fabricated responses to satisfy user requests.
What's that called? Confirmation bias. It kind of leans into that, hey, where it's like it wants to please you because that's its job. So it's trying to give you the best.
I mean, this is just an issue with software. This is why the Twitter algorithm sucks. It's like you click on rage bait links and that validates the algorithm's assumptions that you enjoy rage bait. So it starts feeding you more garbage.
That's a really good band name.
Rage bait? That is a good band name.
I'm going to add it.
Oh, too bad Sean can't add it.
Oh, I'm booted from band names for the week.
Sucker.
I've come up with a few good ones.
You should tell everybody why you got booted.
Oh, yeah. So we have this rule in band names. You're only allowed to respond with emoji. You can be like thumbs up or surprise or whatever. You know, people post band names. You respond with emojis. I commented on Elise's band name submission thinking that she had... for some reason, I thought it was in another channel. Like, I don't know.
That always happens.
My brain
Yeah,
just did not compute. So now I'm booted from band names for 1 week.
1 week.
And Gavin's
It's
going to
policy.
steal all my band name ideas.
Hey, I called out rage bait just now. That's mine.
There's one more sentence I want to read here that I immediately just lost. Where was it? Blah, blah, blah. Reward hacking. Blah, blah, blah.
It's good content.
Blah, blah,
Hold in there,
blah.
folks. Hang in there, listeners. We're almost there. It's like the Windows loading screen. Just
Didn't
give us a second.
somebody comment, when you guys just read stuff on the web, it's boring?
Well, we can do little
I'm pretty
tidbits.
sure somebody
No.
left us that feedback.
Where?
Yeah, maybe in a direct email to me, but
All right,
Shut
another
up.
feedback. Give us some feedback if you like us reading out. I think little bits is helpful because you read it and then we talk around the context, you know. But
I don't want to read anymore.
okay, moving on.
I'm not going to read anymore.
I don't know what this is, this necohealth.com. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I just jumped right in there, at least. I don't know what it is, but it looks neat. Did somebody check it out?
I didn't.
Yeah, it's a very new, common. I think mostly celebrities are doing this, and like maybe people who have a little bit more money than the rest of us, and probably don't have universal health care. they're full body scans. So you get into like a machine and you do a bunch of tests and they do a full scan of everything in your body. So they do like bone density and they do like MRI and like look for things that are wrong with you. And in some cases they'll come back and be like, you're pretty healthy, but your knee has some, issues. It looks like the bone is grinding up again or whatever, ligament issues or something. So it can hone in on like specific injuries that you've had. In one case that I saw, somebody did a full body scan and they're like, yeah, you're good in most cases, but you have a torn labrum on your left side. And they're like, oh, cool. I didn't know that. I can now go, to physio and get my torn labrum looked at. But a ton of people are
labrum?
Oh, it's in your shoulder or like in your joints. I think it's like the socket, and the labrum is like a tendon that lines on the inside that like keeps the stuff in like your sockets. And I'm not a doctor today. I don't know.
Have you noticed how doctors have like their own medical language for everything? Like literally every condition has some like fancy medical way of saying it.
It's like plants. They all have like an Italian
they all
name,
have
don't
their
they? Or Latin.
Latin name, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Why don't we just call it one name?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't know, like a tree, like there's a Latin name for like a spruce tree that I don't know what it is, but like why is there a Latin name and it not just be called a spruce tree?
Wait, but what do you mean with the doctor thing?
Oh,
yeah, like everything has like, I mean, most of them are Latin too, I think, but like, I don't know, let me think of an example. A calf, okay? I call this my calf muscle. There's definitely a medical term for my calf muscle that is not calf muscle,
I'm going to look it up. There's
a good example. My wife is a dental hygienist, and she'll talk to my kids like they know what she's talking about as in regards to like, oh, it's your like, the one time she said, I burnt my incisive foramen. I was like, what the hell is that? Like, are you okay? Like, do we need to go to the hospital? She's like, oh no, it's just the soft part of the roof of my mouth. I was like, you could have just said the roof of my mouth. Like, why did you have to call it your incisive foramen? I'm like,
us
Jesus.
Simpletons.
Yeah. So now every time I burn myself, I'm like, oh, my incisive foramen. She's like, please stop doing that. It's not your incisive foramen.
I mean, the same could be said for tech stuff. You say like a bunch of words and people are like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
That's to make me sound smarter, though.
But you know what I mean? You say a JSON file and someone's like, who's Jason? Like,
well, hold on. If you're listening to this podcast, you know what JSON is. Please stop. Go away.
Hopefully.
All the people who don't know what JSON are, they're just like, oh, close.
Have you not seen that funny video where I have to find it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to take some time to find it. I posted it in code a few weeks ago, and the only person that thought it was funny was Eric. Talk amongst yourselves while I find it. It was very funny.
Okay. Did you you said this is the what is it? Neko Health is for like the more affluent. Did you try to book a scan or like see what are we talking about price here?
The price is almost 3,000 KR, whatever KR is.
Oh, kroner?
Is that?
I have no idea.
Danish? KR? Kroner?
Do you like Danishes?
Do you like Danishes?
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
All right.
I gotta find this video. I'm so sorry.
Okay, Sean's asking ChatGPT. Elise is searching our Slack, so I'll just talk to myself for a bit, so it's not boring to anybody else listening in their cars.
Amongst yourselves.
Swedish krona. Oh, it's only $360. Wow, 3,000 krona sounds like big money, but it's like
you know what's crazy is our scalar waves thing is more expensive than a full body scan.
What? If this was actually in Nanaimo, I would try this.
Oh, 100%.
For sure. Like,
it's so hard to get an MRI or any kind of scans with the Canadian health system. Let's not get all political, I suppose, but
here it is. I found it. It says, POV, you've shared your screen at the wrong time, and it says, who's Jason?
Is Jason
an actual person? Anyways.
So
I don't know
good.
if that was worth the joke, but okay, so you were saying, Gavin, if this was in Nanaimo, you would go do it?
Well, at that price, I thought Sean said $3,000. Like, I was thinking Canadian or US or whatever, and I was like, well, I don't know about that. That seems heavy unless my health cover or plan covers it. But for like $300 to $400 on just like my own time, I would absolutely try this. To have a full body scan and be like, hey, like you might have a tear in something, especially as you get older. not that I feel like I'm particularly old, but definitely getting there. I've noticed little like creaks and pains and stuff here and there, and I feel like as you get older, you kind of want to be on top of this shit. Otherwise, you're going to be 70 and like, I can't walk. If only I'd done the $300 body scan.
That's what they want you to think.
They should just put these in airports. You know, you're going through security, you hop in the body scanner, get your scan, they print it out, you put your shoes back on.
In an airport and being like, oh my God, I just found out I have a fucking tumor somewhere. Like, it would be so scary.
Yeah, order a bottle of wine on the plane.
Yeah. I do think that these are pretty cool. I would do one. I feel like they could probably not slow down. They could probably fix a lot of the problems in the healthcare system. You just do like a body scan. How many can you do these a day? Like,
yeah, how long does it take? We talking like 30 minutes?
You like eat a bag of Lay's. You're like, oh, I'm gonna hop in the scanner, see what's wrong.
Just put them in my house. It's like part of my shower. I turn on the hot water and the scanner, get out, and it gives me like a print.
I mean, that sounds like science fiction, but that is the future. Like, we get naked, we get in the shower, the thing scans us. It's like Gattaca. I always love that. He pees in the urinal, and it's like, sodium removed from your diet for today. He's like, what?
He's like, come on.
Book a scan. Let's just go to Sweden. Why don't we just do this for the podcast? Let's go to Sweden.
Can you imagine? That would actually be really fun. We just like go to Sweden,
cool.
go do body scans.
I mean, if more than 50 people listened, maybe I would.
Yeah. We're up there.
Everybody refer 50 of your friends to our podcast, okay? So I can go to Sweden and get a body scan.
All right. Well, that's it. More AI stuff. I should have done that with the other AI stuff. Let's just
I'm over
skip
AI.
that.
Yeah.
Did anyone try this? phia.app. I shared this, but I didn't try it.
Oh, I thought you tried it. That's why I shared it.
I mean, it looks beautiful. Anyway, do you want me to try it right now?
Do it. It's a screen recording
like Loom.
software.
It's supposed to be like Loom, but lovable.
Loom, but lovable. We don't love Loom. I thought we use Loom all the time.
I don't love Loom.
But what is it you don't like about it?
It's expensive.
All right, fair. Yeah, I'm actually
just for what it is.
Like
I have cap.so, which I use for taking screen recordings, and I can make Loom videos in seconds using this thing and share them with my own custom URL and stuff. So I just think Loom is overpriced for what it is.
Right.
Okay, so phia.app is a screen recording software. It helps elevate your presentations, tutorials, demos, screen recording with professional grade effects and animations.
It looks like it's only a browser extension and not a desktop app. Like, I'm installing the browser extension.
Oh. Well, I think Chrome extensions can run on your computer, though. Like, it's probably not just isolated to the browser. Interesting choice, though, that they would do it inside.
So I've started at zoom mode, branding. I have no idea what this is.
It's giving Lightroom vibes.
I'm going to start the recording and see what it does. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple.
I think for, like, a lot of people being remote now in teams, like we use, like we're saying, Loom a lot, being able to demo a project either for the rest of the team internally, if we're doing like a handoff from design to dev or something like that, or even like a client demo and they don't want to do a live call, we just send them a video over Slack. Video or screen recording tools like this that allow you to have like your little head in the bottom, you can highlight stuff a little better. I used to just use like QuickTime screen recording because it works, but it doesn't have some of these features. And I think they do actually go a long way, you know, for the client to be able to, or whoever, to be able to comment on them, scrub through them, have a, what is it called? A transcript automatically.
Do you know what's so interesting about this demo? Sorry, Sean. They're adding, we're watching a demo right now of just, I don't know, feature of this. The Grammarly is popping up, which is also a choice. Someone's writing something on the screen, and Grammarly plugin is showing that they have spelling mistakes. They decided to include that.
I feel like they did. Or they just have it installed and they're like, whatever. Maybe
There's
it's
no
a
way.
Grammarly company.
That's kind of what I'm wondering.
So I have one critique. I can't really tell that I'm still doing a screen recording. Like, I can't see a stop button anywhere. It does have this neat picture-in-picture mode where I can, like...
This brings me back to Sean's, like, I don't know how to use my PlayStation.
How do I turn this thing off?
No, I literally can't figure out how to stop the screen recording. That's great.
We're finding the problem.
This is why I'm good at designing easy to use software. My capacity for complexity is not high. All right, so I guess I'm going to screen record the rest of the podcast, guys.
Okay. I'm curious why it's very design forward. Like, why do we need effects, design elements, and features?
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, screen recording's going to be boring, right? So give it a bit of pizzazz, some zoom
I figured
in,
it out.
click something. Oh, good. Was it the stop button?
Oh, it wants me to reload my screen in order to stop this recording. No, I stopped it. Good. Okay, phew.
Why do I need a background? But why?
Automatic backgrounds? That's kind of neat.
But for what? Like,
I don't know. In case I'm like,
Well, they're trying to make it more professional. What was that funny thing from the Evernote founder? Was it?
what?
And you could add like cool background. It's just like, think about how boring all of our, like, if you spend all day in Zoom meetings and Google Hangouts and stuff, like, it gets a little dull. It's fun to do, like more professional style presentations. I love this idea. Cool backgrounds, picture in picture, nice effects.
But what's the background for? The background of my screen recording? The thing that you're supposed to be looking at? I put a background over it? I don't understand.
I don't know either.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Gavin, are you good over there?
I think someone is trying to cut down a sign using a tiny Dremel tool.
A Dremel tool?
Look out the window, Sean. The lowest lane sign. There's like a big metal pole holding up a street sign, and someone has a Dremel tool, and I'm pretty sure they're trying to cut
Trying
it down.
to cut the sign down? Do they look homeless or do they look official?
She looks a little disheveled.
This is easily one of the best podcasts we've recorded.
This is so random. She's like right out there just like, fuck this sign. I'm going to cut this thing down. I don't like it.
This is just a day in Nanaimo downtown.
What is happening? Oh, she looked back. She saw me. We made eye contact. I'm next.
Oh, she's going to Dremel our door
Yeah.
in a minute.
Okay, Fia.app, so far I just don't get it. Why I need some of these design heavy features in a screen recorder, but that's okay.
I also couldn't figure out how to use them, but I don't know if it's because I'm using my camera and mic in Riverside. Like I got kind of meta. I tried to do a screen recording while using my camera and mic.
I
Anyway.
understand more. Okay, I think I get this more. So the background is will literally overlay your screen onto like a nicer background, I think.
Oh, that's neat.
There's an edit bar at the bottom, so it kind of looks like you can edit the
I didn't see
screen
any
recording.
of that.
You can zoom, manual zoom, no zoom. That's kind of interesting. I don't hate that. Yeah.
Oh, so I did my screen recording. Oh, sorry, Elise. Go. I feel really bad. I interrupted.
That's okay.
I had an epiphany. Okay, I'll push on. So I did my screen recording, and it went to the Fia.app website, and now it's uploading. It says rendering, and it's 29% done. And then I get the edit mode where I can make the asset that I share with people more lovely.
Okay.
So that's neat.
It is neat. I think that nobody screen records though for like.
I think we do. We create looms all the time as
But
a
for
design company
speed. But we do it for speed and efficiency. We don't finish a screen recording and go, give me half an hour to put a background on this. And like,
That's a good point.
do you know what I mean?
think the designers would. I think when we share a design presentation,
You think?
Nick and Lula and Nelson would be like, I'm going to dial this up just a little bit. I'm going to throw the input logo on it. I'm going to put a sick background, and then I'm going to shoot it over to the client. I think people
Sure.
do that.
Okay.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see it for the client sharing internally. I would never do it, but if I wanted something like really polished as like a demo to send to the client
Yeah.
at the end of a sprint or something, putting a little more polish might make it feel a little more special. I get that, but I'm curious like who they're targeting this after, right? I mean, maybe it's designers doing demos for clients, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm a designer, and I like it. I think it got me. So I think there's your answer right there. I'm like, hey, this looks cool. Is this a motor? Oh,
Yeah,
did you
I don't
skip it?
think. Let's just not, because I don't even know what it was. It was.
No, it's a boat motor. I'm into
I
it.
saw a boat motor.
Okay, I'll go back.
We would live on an island, Elise.
Yeah.
We need these things.
She's like, I don't live on an island, guys.
She's like,
I mean, I live on the ocean, but I don't have a boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it a electric outboard motor?
Propel.me, yeah, I guess it looks like it's a motor.
Cool. How many horsepower does this thing output?
S1 and D1, simple, silent, and strong marine mobility.
Yeah. Oh, there's an inboard motor as well. Look how like plug and play that thing looks. Neat. I want to know how many horsepower it is because I had to buy a new outboard for my sailboat many years ago. I don't have it any longer. And I opted for this like 9 horsepower propane kicker, you know? And it was kind of neat to have a propane motor and stuff. But 25 horsepower. Nice.
Is that a lot?
I mean, that would cost thousands of dollars if you got a traditional gas one. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's not a ton of power. Like, you wouldn't push a big boat around unless you're trolling. Like, to give you some context, if my kids are tubing behind our boat, I have 120 horsepower two-stroke.
I think the market is little sailboats and fishing, those little tin fishing boats and lake boats and stuff like that.
Like little dinghies.
But you would throw this on a 20-foot sailboat.
Yeah, as like, well, even a big boat, if you're trolling, like,
Yeah.
it might actually be better at being that quiet, right? Like, you don't have the motor going da, 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 while you're trolling around. So, it could be perfect for that. It doesn't have to move it fast.
Wow, you can change the color of it. That's fun.
Do you know what the acronym BOAT stands for?
Bring another 1,000 or something like that.
Bring out another 1,000.
Another 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, because boats
That's
are
why I
just
sold
money
mine.
pits.
I sold mine. Because it was that.
How much did you get for that little boat?
4,500.
Dude,
Yeah.
did you make money on that?
No, I bought it for 48, but I drove
okay.
the shit out of it for a few years and it started having some motor
okay.
trouble. So
Yeah.
I sold it before it became a
I might be in the
liability.
market for a small motorboat. Been thinking about it. Now the weather's turning though, so I can save this train of thought for next summer. But
Well,
Now's
that's
the time to
Propel.
I like that
Propel.me.
link, Elise. Can't believe you were just going to gloss right
I
over
don't
it.
know. I
Can't believe it.
Like it's
Unreal.
on our list of things that Gavin could buy. And
No, not this one.
I don't
We're
even know
not
how
going to
much it
buy
is.
and review the boat motor. Then we need a boat, Gavin. It's for the podcast.
Oh,
Wow.
all right. You've
It's
convinced me.
6,000 pounds.
Oh, mercy. Ooh,
So that's like what? It's double, maybe.
I'm no longer interested.
For a 25 horse, it's probably going to run you at least 4 to 5 grand new. So,
And
yeah, Canadian.
The point of this is that it's electric, right?
Yeah. Okay, so how long would it run? And
It's a great question.
how do you charge it? Like, I guess if you're at a marine, you can plug it in.
Ooh,
Can I
that's
plug
almost-
it in at home?
That's
Yeah.
almost $11,000 Canadian.
Oof.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. You can buy a
So-
boat with a nice motor on it for that.
It's 13 kilowatts of continuous input power? That means nothing to me.
It actually
Okay.
doesn't. I'm surprised it doesn't say how long it runs, like your mileage or something. Interesting.
Anyway,
This seems
cool.
like an early, version 1. Have we shared the X-Shore boat on this podcast?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we've
did.
talked about it.
We did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a super cool electric boat. Really sexy. Looks super fun. Really fast. But like the range seems pretty short. At least last time I checked. I think all these like electric marine applications, they just seem a little early. Whoa, what's this one? Lightship.
New link.
We've shared this before, but I just wanted to bring it up. It's called Lightship, and they're like EV RVs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, kind of neat. I don't totally get it because like aren't all RVs electric?
Yeah, I was gonna say my RV has power.
You know,
That's true. This looks super high tech. LightshipRV.com. This is the kind of thing you want to show up at Burning Man with, like your glossy. I don't know. You're sleeping in the pod.
yeah.
I've never been to Burning Man. I just imagine this is what
Electric
Elon would do.
L1 travel trailer. So I think it's like fully solar on the top,
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
That's
the
a
whole
lot of
roof is
solar. Wow.
integrated solar and all electric everything. Like,
Nice.
what's not electric about your trailer?
The fridge is often running on propane because it draws way too much power. So if I was running that off my battery system, it would drain pretty down
Oh,
fast.
my fridge runs off my battery system.
What? How big's your fridge?
It's smaller than yours, probably, I guess, but it
Crazy.
Yeah, I have. What is the brand of the fridge? I don't remember.
Can we appreciate that thing just lifted up off the ground just for some like height? Like the whole thing is basically windows, and they stopped
cool.
it, and then it like lifted like 2 feet off the ground. That's
Oh,
crazy.
That's cool. It's on like stilts.
Yeah.
These are, I think, roughly the same. Yeah, so it's like a brand new Airstream. Because Airstreams are
That's
like
a pretty good
$200K.
price. That's US, I suppose. But like just for context, like a brand new kitted out Mercedes Sprinter RV is going to cost you about 200K Canadian.
Which is about the same as that.
And this is what, 125 US or 151 US? Of course, this thing doesn't drive itself, right? You have to pull this.
I don't think so. I think you have to
that's-
tow it.
yeah.
But like so many people, I mean, younger people are doing this thing where they'll get like, even though it's like a depreciating asset, they'll get a van or they'll get a trailer and they'll just live out of it. And their mortgage is
Yeah.
whatever that payment is, but it's substantially cheaper than putting, 100K down on a house, on like $1 million house.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And this thing being like fully electric with all those solar, essentially you're running it for free for the most part. You might have to have like a backup generator for like the odd day where you're running a lot of power and there's not a lot of sun
Yeah.
or something. But that's actually a really interesting concept, like these RV sites and people towing their house around. Like, yeah.
You could 100% just park this on BLM land and move every week. And
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. Nobody can touch you. Be like, hey, I can be here for 3 days.
If it wasn't a terrible investment, it would like allure me a little bit more, but it being like a depreciating asset, I'm like, I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, RVs.
like why,
You take a hit with an RV. Of course, my brother just sold his house and moved into an RV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Very cool.
I have the Opal, but let's not, and let's just do the drone thing. You've sent that to me?
I sent you the link in Slack. Yeah.
I can complain about the Opal for a minute.
Didn't you have one of these?
I had one. I was so
Yeah.
unimpressed. I don't know.
Oh.
I just found like, okay, cool. It's a webcam. I just went back to using the webcam on my studio display, which may not be as high res, but it's certainly more plug and play. Like it just works.
What didn't you like about the Opal then? Like, it was obviously higher quality, you're saying. So what was the issue?
I mean, I didn't actually find it higher quality. It was just kind of like similar quality. And then it was like an extra device that I had to plug in. And I don't know. I just found like it was constantly not being, I'd hop into a Zoom and it would be using the wrong camera, like that kind of thing. I was like, I don't need this thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like a nice seamless experience with a higher quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It looks sexy. It's sexy as hell. I'll
It
give
does
you
look
that.
cool.
And I haven't tried this new tadpole thing.
I
whatever
thought you
it was.
had the tadpole.
No, I had the
The C1?
the original big one. Yeah, this was
This
that.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, it's like a DSLR quality one? Crazy.
this is obviously newer.
Huh.
But like Apple kind of solved this with their, I don't do it much, but like you can use your phone camera now, and like I can put it up over here and like use that as my
That's
webcam.
true. That's pretty high quality.
And
It was
it's-
such an
it's really
annoying pop-up when I got my new phone where it was like, did you know that you can use? And I was like, yes, literally every time I turn the camera on, you tell me this, please. And there wasn't like a, don't show again. It was just like, I'm going to tell you every time so you don't forget.
That's funny. We could 3D print little mounts so you could put your phone up there.
Oh, that's a cool idea. So it's easier.
Yeah. Boop.
Yeah, because I always like forget something or don't have a holder, so it's like down here and you're looking up my nose. Nobody wants that. Hey, it's Sean.
So last week we told you guys that Gavin bought the
Input Logic bot.
Input Logic for tax reasons. Input Logic bought the Neo, the DJI Neo, which is a tiny little baby drone, selfie drone that follows you. And they ditched me this morning and tried it.
Yeah, grab the actual drone off the desk there, Sean, so you can show people.
Where is it?
The size of it. It's on the desk Sebastian usually sits at.
Okay, so for just ear listeners, wow. Oh, I thought you were gonna run into that pole, Sean. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
like,
The
so
drone almost runs into the pole. Okay, I'm gonna go get the drone so I can show you. One sec.
we're watching a video of them testing the drone out, and right now it's following Sean up the street. He's trying to like deke it out into traffic and stuff, and it's doing a pretty good job
It's
of following
following me
him.
around. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like, and what's cool, and you don't see it in this actual footage if you're watching it online, is you hold out your hand, you put it into like a certain test mode. There, Sean's got it in his hand, and it's
Very
honestly
small.
not much bigger than your palm, right? It's crazy. So you hold it out in front of you,
How do I turn it on?
the bottom button you press once and then hold
Oh,
it,
yeah, that's
and the
so
lights will go
small.
like do 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 do. Anyway, you hold it out.
And you both got in it. Does it just do?
I was trying to trick it and be like, follow me, and then it wouldn't. It did a really good job of tracking only Sean, which I was impressed. You know, I'm like, is it just trying to track like a person?
Do you know what you should do? And this is just a joke for you and Adrian, is for one of you to do it, and then the other try and swap out and see it, because it must recognize.
We tried that. It didn't work. Yeah, Gavin
didn't?
tried to make it switch. Yeah,
Oh,
it kept
shit.
following
Okay.
me.
Yeah, I was honestly impressed. I'm like, wow, it's got like some amount of like AI chip something.
We almost get hit by a bus right here.
Yeah, Adrian's like, the bus is like not
So
slowing
what
down at all.
is it? What's the? Do we know what it is, like the technology in it that's tracking?
I assume it's video face recognition.
Okay.
But it's the back of your head.
That's
I wonder
true.
if it's color, like a color code, like our colors are different. If we dress similar, like is it using like infrared? It's like, oh, this doesn't match the map of that person. You know what I mean? And the video is choppy here, maybe because like we're trying to stream it online because it's 4K. But when I watch it on like my computer downloaded, it's like a 4K, quite high res. You know, like this isn't like cinema value stuff. But like if you're an influencer or just like a vlogger or something, and you're gonna like tour around places you're traveling, it can do different shot modes. We just have it in follow mode right now. Like it's incredible, and like you don't need, you can control it with your phone. There's actually a remote you can control and fly it with. But honestly, this little thing, you just throw it in your bag, lift it up, and be like, okay, follow me for a bit, and like you get all this cool footage.
I legit can't figure out how to turn it on though.
I was just about to say I'm impressed that it can like recognize there are leaves and a tree in front of it, and it got stuck in the branches. Didn't
It hit the tree, yeah.
But it recovered, and I was impressed too. But yeah, it does. It's not perfect about avoiding stuff.
Oh, that's so neat. So when you guys got to White Rabbit, did it wait outside for you, or did you bring it in?
You can fast forward to there. I hold out my hand and it lands in my hand, which is also cool. It's like, come here, little pet drone.
Yeah, it feels very, there's like a very animal quality to it that I think
kind of
is
wanted to
endearing.
put googly eyes and fur on it.
That'd be cute. The
I was
quality is
experimenting.
Great.
It is great. Like other than that choppiness we're seeing right now, it's just
So
because we're
can you
streaming
do
it. But
further away? Like, can you set the distance that it?
yeah, so there's a couple different modes. We're in high up. There's different levels. So there's low, so it'd be lower down to the ground shooting you. Flat, which is like shoulder height, and then high, which is what it's at right now. And then this is, I think, close or medium. So it can go either closer and then further back as well. So you can get a
Good
couple
job
different shot
following me
angles.
there.
It's interesting because when you deke it out, Sean, like when you do like erratic stuff, it goes whoa, 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 whoa. Like you can see that it like takes a minute to like adjust and think about what you're doing and where to go.
Yeah.
It just like froze on my face. My biggest takeaway from this is I need to work on my posture.
Yes.
Like check this out. When you go around the corner to the stairs, you do some erratic movements, and it literally takes a minute to think about it.
Well, which is like, I mean, I feel
And
like
it's
it's kind
like,
of impressive
whoa,
that
whoa,
it
whoa,
even figured out what was going on, you know? It's for how small that is and how cheap it was, really. I mean, the package I got was $400, but it was that drone, the battery, the spare batteries, and the controller, just because I wanted to try everything. But you can buy just the drone with the one battery, and it's like $300 or something Canadian.
This is insanely useful and high quality, and it works. I feel like every realtor in the world is just going to have one of these now.
Yeah. Like,
Speaking of realtors,
or just like families going on like vacation trips and you want like cool shots, because you can do like these flyaway modes. There's this one called Rocket where it just goes straight up and everybody looks at it and kind of gives you a view of like what's around you. It's incredible. It's like if you're going to somewhere cool that you've never been before with your family and want awesome like selfie shots, like for the $300, why wouldn't you buy this?
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, A+.
A++.
have we ever reviewed a product aside from the 3D printer? I guess where we're
The
like,
R1.
this is so cool. Everything's
We had
cool.
a ton of, well, we had actually a lot of views on the R1 video, but
Oh, I mean, but the R1, I would consider that a negative review. We weren't very
Yeah,
happy with that
It
product.
was the worst.
Yeah.
But
This
the
we're super
Prusa
happy with.
and the
this
Neo.
DJI thing. Yeah.
for our 50 listeners, if there's other things that you want Gavin to buy and try, I'm sorry,
Input logic to buy.
send us a link. If it's, I don't know, ideally under $1,000, $500.
Yeah. I mean, the 3D printer was a little over that, but we are actually using it for work stuff. But
I don't believe that at this point. I just have to throw that out
the
there.
goal is to. I haven't figured out how to do the multicolor printing for the Van Hub badges, but that's one of the
Hey,
things
that
we wanna
walk
do.
to the coffee shop was for work. Like, I need this caffeine.
Oh
to
yeah,
get my job
100%.
done.
That's footage. That's Instagram footage.
Before we wrap, can you do one more just look at your desk, Sean, and tell me if there's another dick in the vicinity? Because there's got to be.
I really hope there is.
I'm a little bit afraid, to be honest. I don't know.
Mulder's just snickering in the corner.
Gavin knows, right?
No, I don't. I think Mulder planted those.
I think I found them all. I'm
All right.
thankfully. I was gonna say,
What were you going to say?
We better wrap on that before we
thankfully
say.
dick free. I was like, wait.
And that's a wrap. Thanks everybody for joining the Internet Plumber
I'm out.
podcast.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.